Let's go. And we're back for another one. Still breathing. What is going on, everybody? Good evening. Let's get the mic check out the way right out the gate here, real quick. Make sure everything's coming through good here. I did adjust a few things here right before we went live, so want to make sure that right here everything sounds good, solid. 5x5, 5x5. All right. Nice. Let it burn. Fitz, Free Spirit, Lance, Love, Nilish, Pierre, House, much love. John Boy, Raymond, Canito, Geo, that's your image, of course. Thank you. It's looking out over the ocean, Southern California. If you got any shots, send them my way. I try my best to get them in there. Sometimes, though, I can't explain it. People send them, and they end up being real pixelated. So I try to take the clearest ones I can, throw them out there. And I do avoid, thank you to those that have sent drone shots before, but for whatever reason, the drone cats out there, they're sticklers on their copyright stuff. And I just might as well not even share none of their stuff, because you never know when someone's going to come creeping up like, yo, that's my stuff. Kind of like what we encountered here recently with Atlas Images. If you guys got anything to get to me, dabu7@yahoo.com is the email. If you got any links, any stories connected to what we're talking about or anything else, make sure to put some detail in there, a title, and some information, not just a link. And I thank everyone out there that shares the stream. See some new cats over there have shared it on Twitter tonight or on X. I thank all of you that do that, get it out there in front of people I can't reach. And any of you guys that support the channel, I appreciate it to the fullest. Super chats, coffees, PayPals, all that good stuff is appreciated, along with prayers. And thank you, Steely, for sliding in there. And thank you, Wayne, 5x5 feedback. Got a lot to cover tonight, as always more than what I can fit into the title. So we're going to get it going here with some earthquake talk and activity. We've seen a 5.4 magnitude and then more. We've got swarming now, popping off of Oregon's coast. And if you missed it, I dropped a video talking about a 3.8 magnitude earthquake and some swarming in Yellowstone. They send, like, over on X, they send shills my way to attack me daily. It's always been like this for years. From YouTube over to X, it's transferred. But they'll show up and they'll be like, they'll always make negative comments. Always a negative comment. And this time today, one of the trolls showed up and was just like, I live in this exact area and 3.8s are common on a daily basis. It's like, you're a lying piece of, and you are. Now, some of these things are bots. I've noticed that get sent through, but some of them are not. They're humans. They're people. You can and I can tell the difference when you see this every day. You start to get a feel for it, and 3.8 is not normal for a super volcano area. Yeah, it sees activity every now and then, but definitely not 3.8s every day. And the big thing about the ones in Yellowstone were they were severely shallow. Let's go over and look at the map. We've got some quake activity across the board. Iceland hitting up here with 5.4s. You never know what's going to go on there. It's been associated with eruptions in the past as well. And it follows this line. You'll see it goes right down the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Right here. This is critical because here on this planet, for whatever reason, when big earthquakes are to hit, like natural ones that we see, they're going to hit on this line. They always do. Again, I've been doing this for years and years and years and years. And part of my daily routine, is just commonplace. I check certain sites, I check news feeds, and I check the earthquake feed like every day. Even if there's nothing major going on, I always give it a look. In every day, my mind is taking a snapshot of the activity. And that's stored, logged in me subliminally. It's in there. And, I just recall, swarms throughout the past. And when we start to see an odd activity, it kind of stands out. Like this one. The Caribbean. East Caribbean. Yes, we do have a big hurricane bearing down over Jamaica, but it's quite a ways away here. I mean, it's not like it's right on top of it. To say that triggered these earthquakes, it is a lot of pressure though in the area. You never know what you're going to get. What's odd though is that right here in this exact area where U.S. military is set up, U.S. military, it's kind of odd now that I look at it. They're all around Puerto Rico. They're doing drills off both sides, all around Puerto Rico. And we've got small quake earthquake activity around that area. None in Haiti, none in Cuba. Then they sent all these warships and all these other assets down into this area, down around the islands, going all the way down to Trinidad and Tobago. Now, they fell off, but there was like twin earthquakes, like one here and one here, something like this. They were both 4.8s, one on each side of Caracas, I think it was. They hit in the area as well. And I'm kind of like, I'm just paying attention to all these things. Like, okay, everywhere U.S. military is going, like little quakes are popping up, but they're parked right in this area. Whether it's them or not, whether it's someone else messing with them, whether it's all connected or not, call it a coincidence. But due east of Guadalupe, right where they had a sub positioned on the map, this is where this happens. Now we know these boats are moving around, subs are moving around, Poseidons, drones, and all that stuff flying around. They're not staying in one spot, but just this is where the sub is at on the map. When they show, I just thought that it was kind of odd, So we're swarming from, all these islands up here, St. John's, all the way down, again, past St. George. Like, we're right on the doorstep of Venezuela. Trinidad, Tobago, yeah. I'm going to get into that as well here in a minute, but militarily, this is a war front, considered to be a war front. Everything surrounding Venezuela and Colombia. Because if you haven't noticed, our U.S. military has put warnings out on Colombia now. Trump directly has put warnings out on the president or the leader of Colombia, which is the number one producer and supplier of cocaine in the world. Okay? And they keep bringing this up. Like, look, this is a narco operation. And like, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be Trump's war all over it. They're going to try to be slick about it maybe and try to pull off some decapitation strikes. And if they do this, they're hoping to quickly install leadership to where no chaos breaks loose and just kind of take control of a puppet in the area. They tried this years ago with Juan Guaido in Venezuela. The people rejected it. This time, though, they've played their cards strategically. Trump didn't win the Nobel Peace Prize, but some off-the-wall lady you never heard of did. Last name's Machado. Well, guess what? She just so happens to be the opposition leader in Venezuela. You can't make this up. And she dedicated the whole Nobel Peace Prize to Trump, and he's like, oh, no, never heard of her. Like, he's lying. He knows of all this. He knows of the whole plan of who's going to replace Maduro if he gets assassinated. It's going to be her, no doubt. She'll be the number one pick. I mean, crying out loud, she just won the Nobel Peace Prize. Come on. This whole thing's a setup. Anyhow, if you don't know the history of Colombia and what the U.S. government will do to you if they don't like you, like, it could be a repeat. Medellin, here, Pablo Escobar, go look up the documentaries. They've got it on film where they went in, raided him, killed him. They got him surrounded on a roof inside of his house, basically. He ran out on like a second floor roof with a gun, and like they lit him up. And that's how that ended. So they've been in to Colombia before, and they'll do it again. That had to do a lot with getting control of the military around Pablo Escobar inside of the country and leadership. But like, Pablo Escobar wasn't the president. Petro is, and Trump's putting it square on his head. Like, you're the new Pablo Escobar. Like, you thought Maduro was, well, like, both of you are, is what Trump's saying. And we're coming for both of you. And they're admitting They're admitting, they're offering us everything you could think of. And you know what Trump's response was? You don't want to F with us. What? Like, the guys, like, were trying to, like, cough up all these, like, they weren't hearing none of it. They don't want to hear or talk none of it. They're going in for all of it. This is about to pop massive. And you don't think when this all pops off that what we already know, they already telegraphed it. The Panama Canal, is it going to come into play critical? Big time? Of course it is. With Chinese influence in the area. So we've got military assets all through the Caribbean. On both sides here at Panama. On both sides of South America and Central America. We've got all the way up to Baja. And remember, they've got warships up here, watching the cartels in Mexico, running Poseidons all through the area. Like, this whole stretch from Venezuela to freaking our doorstep is about to be a war zone, dude. Everyone's just sleeping on it. Just sleeping on it. I'll update more on that here in just a second. Let me show you, though, the quakes off the coast that are popping off. They get into 6, 7 range. You got to start worrying about some tsunami activity. That happens, I'll update. And then over here, Yellowstone, luckily, we didn't see any more from this. But again, these were super shallow. Like, to me, when I say shallow, quakes out here can run like 100 plus. Look at this. I mean, just look on your screen. You could see 108, 126, 112, the depth, 426, 663. You know, the depths of an earthquake. So when I see one that's a 10, that's shallow. Anything 10 or less in my book, these 5s, those are shallow. When one is less than 5, that is a super shallow. And these bad boys popping off in Yellowstone were less than 1. Less than 1. Less than 1. It's pretty darn close to the surface, man. And then look at that depth. No, it was at 1.06. That, so I'm just telling you, 10s, 5s. No, we got a 1 here. And it just so happens to be a 3.8 earthquake at a super volcano. You know? So yeah, just keep track of these things, man. Everybody cares. If any more pop off, you don't want to see them start marching toward the caldera. They start marching toward Yellowstone Lake. Geysers start popping, anything like that. That's something to watch for. We've seen little activity kind of like this in the past. You don't want to see any more swarming. Something we'll keep an eye on. All right. Jamaica, devastated by this Hurricane Melissa. Widespread power outages. Internet's blacked out. Severe infrastructure damage. Monster storm. Like the biggest or tied for the biggest ever to hit the area. Play a couple clips here. You can see right there, it's rolling over Jamaica. Cuba going to get it. It's going to go up here into the Bahamas. I'm assuming that southern Florida, there's no threat here. It's going to head on out into the ocean, but you can see there on NetBlocks the real-time network data showing the connectivity down 30% compared to ordinary levels when it comes to the internet. Here's some footage of the storm rolling through. Just now it's devastation. What hurricanes do, man. High winds. Anything not tied down or anything loose out there is gonna get tossed. Some of these people having no choice but to ride it out. I mean, you got the whole island of Jamaica. Ain't nowhere to go. Try to run from one coast to the other. You just seen it. Like the entire island hit. That's scary. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, man. You better hope you're on higher ground or like tucked into some hills, into some mountains or something. Whatever mountains there may be in Jamaica. Yeah, the shot there, devastating winds, and some of the damage afterwards. Some of the buildings just flat. People missing. People have lost everything. Play this one. Floodwater. Look at that. That's there ain't no getting anything gets hot with that. Anything gets swept away in that current right there. Not good. Jamaica getting hit with a hard one here. You would think Jamaica would get hit more often being out there in like Hurricane Alley, but that's not how the hurricanes have ran historically the past decade. I was looking at a noodle map on all the hurricane tracks in the past 15 years or so, coming up around Florida, how they've been going into the Gulf. And then really, that one, that it was a wild one that hooked in through the Gulf, went up through Florida, and then came out and then hooked back in to the Carolinas and then caused all the damage up there. Shows that sometimes like a bowling ball coming through, man. I mean, these things, they got a spin on them. They can go back the other way. And look, I've watched them steer hurricanes. I've been doing this for so long. Like, I forget the name of the one right up the coast. There was one where they told one city, like, don't worry, don't evacuate. They told a whole nother area to evacuate. And then, like, everyone that they told not to evacuate got hit. And then a buzz sawed right up the East Coast. Like, it was, I've seen a lot, man, a lot of hurricane damage, but prayers going out to anyone out there dealing with that. I'll update as we get more details. Follow me on X for a lot of that, images, little video clips, things that happen. On to this next one. This nutcase. What they say is a entitled brat from Pennsylvania. I know some cats like him that should be behind bars just like him. This guy went on a violent rampage, left 2 police officers hospitalized. One underwent emergency surgery. This was an emergency situation soon as he started ramming the police cars. One of them jumped out, got in front of him. You can't see it. It's off camera. I mean, you can see the vehicle go toward the cop, and he starts opening fire. But then you don't see what happens to the cop. But then you see the vehicle keeps going down the road here. So this Dalton Janicek intentionally used his luxury Mercedes G-Wagon as a weapon, ramming multiple police cars, striking one officer several times before being shot and apprehended. So he was hit. The way he drove off, I wasn't sure if he was hit or not, but he was hit. Took place around noon on Friday at Whitpain Township. They say a sergeant attempted to stop him after reports of reckless driving. The driver were to comply. He fled, weaving through traffic, jumping a median. And then I got a clip here. These people that witnessed it were in shock. They couldn't believe it here.
Girl.
Huh. Watch. Watch.
Girl. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the fuck did we just... Oh my god, the police officer...
Yeah, they saw something crazy, all right. Replay this one more time. If I can here. Let's see.
Girl. Girl. Oh my god.
I mean, it looks like he
my God.
ran over the cop right there.
Oh
So
my god.
the cop jumped out and the vehicle was still rolling. Like as soon as he jumped out, he never even got it in park. It was still rolling. And as soon as he got out, that guy backed in and smacked it, and it still kept rolling. It rolled out of picture, out of frame. The cop was on his feet till he goes out of frame. And it's like the guy ran him over, hit him for sure, and then took off, kept going. But the guy was shot. I mean, this dude, it's cats like this you don't want out there. Don't know if he was on anything, but reckless acting, erratic, and doing that right there. Yeah. We got New Mexico officials reporting a high rate of forever chemicals in residents near an airbase there. They say that state officials on October 23rd presented the results of a 1.2 million project to test the blood of people living near Cannon Air Force Base. And they're looking for these forever chemicals. So these people joined this meeting in Clovis, New Mexico, talking about these test results, and they found that one or more forever chemicals, PFASs, were in the blood of 99.7% of the people tested. That is crazy. I mean, it's like 100%. Everybody. Virtually everyone. That's crazy. Anyone that lives in New Mexico near here, man, or near any government facility that is questionable, this is the type of stuff you're dealing with. And, you know, this, I seen a report today. Now listen up. Everybody, you know someone, you've seen someone out there that wears or has a pair, and some of you are going to have them on right now when I say it, a pair of Crocs. Mm-hmm. Huh? How many out there got these Crocs? I thought that, personally, I've always laughed at them since day one. I thought they were like cartoonish looking, and I couldn't believe it. Like so many people I was seeing out all over the place was just wearing them. Because they look hideous as a fashion statement. That's for dang sure. I can understand if you have a pair that you're wearing around the house or something, maybe. But that's what house slippers are for and everything else. But let me tell you something. On the real, I'm sitting there clowning on it, but on the real, like adults, you do whatever you want, man. But like for the kids, especially watching these kids running around wearing these things, there's a warning now that they've done tests and they have discovered that the plastics that are inside of these Crocs are super dangerous, in that when exposed to heat, they give off toxins in a large amount. Your feet just so happen to be huge receptors, big time, and absorb all types of stuff. This is why I tell you to walk barefooted on the earth and get the energy and all that stuff. There's no way they never knew this. I can just smell a lawsuit coming. Who's going to be the first one to actually do it? People are so docile and do nothing in this country. But they've proven that when they heat up, like out anywhere, and if they heat up, they're going to release these toxins into a person's body. And your feet absorb all this stuff right on into your body. And just thinking of kids really bothers me. It's about education and being smart. You take this knowledge and share it with anyone that you know. And just do a little search. You'll find it. You'll find some information on it. You will. If you seek, you will find. And you'll see. But these forever chemicals are everywhere. Like, they're showing up all over the place. But especially if you've got a big factory or government facility, base, something that used to be like, producing something in your neck of the woods. Like, I think it was Jersey. I was talking to his friends about, like, there was a school system that was built up there. I can't think of the name of the one of them, which one it was, but there was some like old school toxic stuff on those grounds, and they went ahead and built the stuff anyway, and like all these people ended up suffering from side effects from that. For like, yeah, I don't know, man. The government knows this about a lot of places, just like this one. There's no way they don't know. And like Los Alamos, all the places around there. I remember years ago when it caught fire around Los Alamos, we had to put out a warning because that's radiated trees. Those are chemical trees. And a wildfire swept through there, and a huge plume was going like northeast. And like we warned everybody as best we could. Well, oddly enough, as soon as this broke loose, all the rad detectors went down. They took them offline, which is criminal. They took them down for a couple hours, and then they came back up online. And we knew immediately because we had screened. We were right there on top of it. We seen it spike, and then it went offline. And we knew what was going on. So they didn't even have. I mean, that's treasonous. That's criminal. They should have put alerts out to everybody downwind. They should have been doing what I was doing. Telling everybody downwind, watch out, but not a word. Not a word. Not a word. So those are the things you got to watch out for, man. This is like one big petri dish. All these experiments going on one on top of another. But yeah, New Mexico, man. Here's one, if you missed it. And yes, this did happen kind of similar before. Remember, Pennsylvania, the monkeys escaped on the highway. It was a big deal, okay? That's where it took place, okay? That's the other event. This is a fresh one. This is out of Mississippi. You had monkeys being transferred from Tulane to a facility in Florida, and it wrecked. They say that all 20 of the other infected monkeys were destroyed after the accident that went down here. But they say that I've seen different stories, even up to earlier today, still trying to say that there was monkeys missing, but I don't know. As far as I could tell, when this thing first broke loose, they wrecked. The accident occurred about 2 p.m. local time on Interstate 59 near mile marker 117. That's about 86 miles east of Jackson, Mississippi, near Heidelberg. Again, it was heading toward Florida. When this happened, they said these monkeys that are about 40 pounds each were carrying hepatitis C, herpes, COVID, all this stuff, and they were loose. And that if you see them, shoot them dead, which is like not good. Test monkeys on the loose, I mean, it's like a nightmare. 28 days later, something out of a movie. But it seemed that they quickly had most of these cats rounded up, and they said that there was one that was out there still loose. Still, one can cause a lot of damage if it's, 28 days later type crap. But then they came out in damage control mode later and some outlets tried to say that Tulane said that no, they did not have hepatitis C, herpes, or COVID, or any of this other stuff. It was like, well, what did they have? And that they did not say. They would not mention none of that. They just tried to deny that it had any of this stuff, but they would not say what they were infected with. And people know that they were infected with, they were test monkeys. We know that much. So something isn't jiving there. Like I don't trust no one. I trust none of these people out here. None of these situations, man. So, it says right there, they are continuing to look for one monkey that is on the loose. So that one monkey running around, all it takes is one. Somebody get bit. Next thing, man, we got zombies running around. Man. I don't know, man. Ever since they were brazen enough to lock us down worldwide. Like, anything is on the table at this point. All right, gonna shift gears here. We got Elon Musk launching what he calls an anti-woke Wikipedia, and it's called Grokpedia. It has hosted 900,000 articles just on its first day, and it's here. It's operational. But this is not the all-seeing, all-knowing, to be trusted with everything. I cannot stand anymore the zombies, the sheep out here. It's like we've proven the AI is deceptive, and even Grok is wrong all the time. Yes, it has an opinion, and you can cite that opinion. But just because Grok says something doesn't mean it's so. It does not. Because it's been proven wrong time and time again. And it will continue to be. They're always upgrading and making new versions and tweaking stuff, and things are changing. But we've also shown the dark side of all this. And there seems to be more dark side in all this than anything. Anyhow, it could still be manipulated. And you're a fool to think that Elon's a good guy trying to fight for us, if that's the world you're living in. Because all these guys are in one big club, and we're not. And I see AI, it's not just, I think AI is the first rollout, the first phase of it. The real threat is in artificial superintelligence, or super artificial intelligence, however you want to put it. But that there is the big jump. And I warned about that on the last stream, how they're saying we need another 6 months, just like they did with AI. They were like, we need 6 months. They're doing it again. But with the super intelligence, I'm telling you, we ain't ready for this. It's gonna be the beast. Okay, it's gonna be what controls everything. It's gonna be what you can see. I got the beast AI system, and I'm gonna touch more on the AI aspect here in a minute. But this is how it's gonna be ran. It's all gonna be ran through AI, blink of an eye, globally, digital, just like that. And this super intelligence is gonna oversee it. And as I've always seen it in my mind, it's like the Wizard of Oz at the end. Not the little man behind the curtain, but the all-powerful Oz that he is projecting. That the Wizard of Oz is the big thing with a big dome in it or whatever. A beast. That's how I see the beast being, so to speak. This demonic, evil entity force that's able to communicate to man clearly, visually, everything through technology. Very easy. Very easy. I mean, they can attach to a human. They can attach to the technology. And this is going to be the scary part about that people are not even seeing coming. You remember Dabu 7 telling you, when this happens to Optimuses, when this happens to these robots that are finely tuned, and super intelligence is injected into them. Again, I believe it's the jinn sitting in the ether. They're here. They're doing something. I know what they're doing. They're put here to test us. And they are the ones in the ether. It says it right there in your Bibles. We wrestle not against flesh, but against spiritual wickedness in high places. And they're telling you right there, what is spiritual wickedness in high places? It is the jinn sitting in the ether. Right? I mean, decode it for you. That's what it is. That's what this whole place is. This realm is what this is. And they're here. It wasn't hidden. People that skip over your Bible, you're doing yourself a huge injustice, even if you're not religious. It's an information piece. You should take it in. You sure should. You've missed a lot if you've just ignored it. Because that's why certain people say it's the basic instructions before leaving Earth, because there's something encoded in it. There sure is. And there's stuff hidden all within it, meaning that small-minded man was never going to catch. But a man that listened to God and seeked, he would find it. He would find what was hidden. And I found it. But I've been warned not to cast my pearls among swine. So, many of you already know. And I say it anyway. It is the chrism. The oil of gladness out of your Bible. But I've learned that it doesn't matter. You could show in this evil world, you could show people the way out. Seek the kingdom of God within you. Like, you could do everything that Jesus said, but they don't care. They won't even do it. I do this all the time. Speak these truths, put it out there, and very few people ever make a change. Because when people do make a change, they're quick to want to show it off and brag about it, or at least, say, hey, look what I do, and that's cool. It's fine. That's great. It's you got the motivation. You knock down one thing, you can go to another, and that's great to see when people can start to do this. But by and large, man, I'm at a point where I don't see people do much of anything. People don't change their lives. People don't do anything. All they do is to sit there and watch. That's it. Consume. Don't hardly ever offer or give anything to the fight, which is shameful. Because something higher is watching. Like, something didn't create all this and put us all here in this material world, like in this, it's not watching. Like, every aspect of it. I refuse to believe that. I can feel it watching. And that's a gift that you get. I call it knowing. When you actually listen and you live a righteous life, you get gifts. But you will never know them if you never try. Okay? If you seek, you will find. Anyhow, all these cats we're dealing with are pure evil. They're stopping you from achieving real enlightenment. And I've discovered a code, Ben. And when it's applied, it tells you the same thing over and over again on what's going on with this place. And I don't know, I kind of feel like some of these things are like kind of dumb to argue, waste time arguing. We can debate things, but like to hate each other over when we can't prove them either way is kind of like I'm open to everything. Like, there's some ridiculous conspiracy theories out there and things that I don't subscribe to and this and that. But like I'm still open. I'm open to listen. And I'm one that just wants to see proof and data and evidence. Okay. For instance, like you want to talk conspiracies, people want to talk wild stuff, want to talk the earth, the moon, all this stuff. Well, the moon, let's go there. Let's go with data. They've hit the moon with objects in the whole world could listen, just like the whole world can pull out a telescope and they can look at it. And they can't hide that. When they did this, and they've done this several times, the world listened, instruments listened. Everyone. And it didn't make a thud. It rang like a bell. Reverberated like a bell, meaning it's hollow. So that's data. This is scientific things the whole world's seen and experienced that we can go off saying, okay, that object's not solid, it's hollow. So when I say things like, okay, the moon's hollow and stuff, I'm not just saying it. Okay? If they would have hit it and it would have made a thud, then I'd be reporting that to you. But that's not what happened. You see, when it comes to this planet, like even my own ancestors, the Indians, and everyone else that wrote stories of like they went inside this planet to avoid cataclysm. And then were taught crazy things, and then and then they came back out like the Hopi. They came back out in the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon, they'll never let you go in and explore, but we're going to. Somebody's got to. Somebody's got to get out here and start exploring these places, man. The tech's here. It's a whole country. We have a whole country full of ancient stuff. Me and Spiro, man, we're talking about it. Telling you, man, like this is when I went out west, like when you enter like Utah's like you got some neighborhoods, right? But it's like one big national park. You go from one park to the next park to the next park, and every time you enter a national park, I'm gonna tell you, there's truly ancient treasures there. So much so that they won't even let you get a drone in the air to see it. You have to ask yourself, well, why? Well, when you go to the Grand Canyon, they will only let you there's only like 2 routes. Mr. A knows, he's done this several times. One of our cats, he's flown over the Grand Canyon and he's got all the deets on it. They will not take you. You're not allowed to fly over certain areas, certain regions, and we know where these are at. And anyone that's got kahunas will go exploring these exact areas. These are the areas you hear that they've sealed off, that they found all the ancient stuff that looked like Egyptian stuff in there. And look, that's one story. The Hopi are a whole different civilization. They say they emerged from out of there. When the flood hit, when the last cataclysm hit, they followed a great white light into the earth. And they came out of the Grand Canyon. Okay, so these are, again, hard data. These are the things I go with. Well, I don't just say them for no reason, Plus, I'm telling you, man, there's a ton of ancient stuff out here to be found. I'm not going to give away too much, man, but we got a plan here. I will say, I've already said it before. If I could, like, I've been in Mexico. I've been down there in the jungles, all that, but it's cartel land, and it's get your head chopped off land, and all that other stuff, and kidnapped and roasted. And again, some of the most ancient places on this planet, the closest that we can get to, like, actual pyramids and crap like that. Like, you can't even do it. Again, because it's a war zone. Deep breath. Indiana Jones in me roars, man. I know it does in you too. If I could, I'd get us all to go on an expedition, something like that, have a blast and get it in. That's a bucket list thing right there, man. Just like Area 51 was for us and others. There's other things to be done out here, I'm telling you, to be discovered, to be shown. I'm telling you. There's ancient stuff waiting to be found by you. The government may know it's there, may not. I have already discovered in this country crazy ancient stuff. Huge sundial out in the middle of the desert. They don't care. They don't care. Crazy. I got a video on it. It was like it got super censored. It's nuts. It's crazy. They don't want you to know or see. And when you're out there, man, looking at some of the what they want to call mountains and stuff, it looks like old buildings, like monuments. Like, it's crazy, bro. Telling you, it's crazy. And when they drop them images from Pakistan, saying there's another Sphinx over there sitting up on top, that's real deal. Like, and I don't doubt it one bit, because take away the Sphinx, the way that all the other mountains look right there, that's what it looks like in Utah. That's what it looks like in Moab. Oh yeah, Moab, land of the giants. I go on and on and on about that stuff, but I got some other news to report. Let's talk about another major disruption. You guys might have felt this today. This hit some of the same places last time, and then some new. This all tracks back to AWS, Amazon Web Services, and outage. And again, if it was a glitch, they kept it under wraps. But this is it really a glitch? Are we dealing with a hack now? Is what I'm thinking. Something bigger. Thank you for the first coffee of the night there. Meat Puppet. You're going to track us all. Oh, yeah. And R.I.P. Carlin. But just a heads up on this stuff going down. I mean, one of these nights, it was a week or so ago. YouTube was messed up so bad that I didn't go live. We need to keep track of this stuff. It keeps happening here. One of these times is going to be the big one. Down Detector, a good site to check. But if you don't have internet to check it, what good's it going to do you? That's the fear when the big one hits. I don't know. This is happening a little too much for my liking, if you ask me. All right, let's move on to some economic stuff here. China buys American soybeans after this meeting. Well, maybe he'll quit sending fentanyl. I doubt it. This is good for the farmer, I will say, because China is a huge buyer, and it's just the way that it works out there. Our farmers depending big time, 30-40% of their sales in this department alone going to China, and when they're not buying, it cripples them. And then, when the United States stops buying beef off of their own farmers and starts buying it off of like Argentine farmers and stuff like that, it's not helping. But I'm gonna keep it pushing here. Let me see where we're at already. An hour done flew by like that. We're already at the top of the hour. You kidding me? Time flies by so quick. All right, it's gonna start trying to rifle through some of these here. Cracker Barrel shares down 32% this year because of what they call the century's worst brand blunder. I agree. Thank you, Grey Wolf, for the super chat there. And what was that? Seeing doubles here. just happened? Wake Up America, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it to the fullest there. Is it me? Did you drop 2? Showing me 2 on there. That's why I said, what the? Yeah, I appreciate it. Either way, much love. U.S. pending home sales rising. And today, they actually dropped the points, 25 base points again. Jerome Powell did, which is good. For anyone that's hoping to like get a better deal, on a house or something like that, rates to come down at all. Well, this was the only way it was going to happen, is if they start to cut things. So this is going to have an effect, going the other way. It'll open a window, hopefully, where people will start. Well, people got to have money first off to be able to buy homes, and if there's no jobs, anything like that, it's just going to be hurting. Yeah. CCC video channel, thank you for the super chat and the question asking about JFK. What do you mean Lancer meetup? Probably need a little bit more detail on that. Do I think no, this administration, the first Trump administration, played the JFK card and it was garbage. Okay. Then they came out, this administration, they already did it again and like threw everything out there. Just like they just did with Epstein. Come on. Completely covering up all the real goods and all the real criminals. Of course, because it always leads back to the same gang, the CIA and the Mossad. And you don't need them to tell you that. We've done figured that out. If you are sitting around one of the people, you're waiting for the enemy, the bad guy, to admit it to you, that, oh yeah, it's never going to happen. And I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's rather obvious. All right. It's the same hand that's killed everybody from JFK to John Lennon to Tupac and Biggie. All right. They've orchestrated all of it. They kill them all. They kill them all. Do you understand that? Michael Kretmar, thank you. It's the same beast that kills them all. Anything ever happens to me, be a same beast. That's the truth. Illuminati on that beast. Lady B, thank you for the coffees. I appreciate the support. Anyhow, I wish you guys luck if someone's out there trying to get a home, been waiting for a window of opportunity or something. I know people out there they're trying to move, they're trying to do things. And I know some people have. Salutes to you that made moves. I know cats done cashed out the 401k, got all the things they need, did everything that they need to do. They're sitting, they're waiting, and that's a good position to be in. Better to be sitting there ready for when it all hits than just completely not. It's a lot easier for a single person, versus someone has a family of people. Single person is easy. It's easier. One person bobbing and weaving, going this and that. It's just easier. When you got to take care of a whole family, obviously, it changes things. Ups the stakes, changes things completely. And then you're not just living for yourself, you're living for them. If you don't have to worry about all that, again, it changes things. It also leaves someone, if you ain't got a family out there, at least to be more, what am I living for? Most people say, oh, I live for my family. And they say, well, if you ain't got the family, then what are you living for? Well, so people can take on a renegade mindset right there. I would just like to think that if you're out there and you don't have much family to lean on or anything like that, you got some kind of community or friends or something around for when it gets crazy. Just don't want to see no one out there, like it's gonna happen though. It's gonna happen, man. If people don't plan and prepare themselves, it's inevitable. Something's when this all hits the fan, like when the food stamp thing here all goes into motion. I'm gonna touch on that here in a second in greater detail as well. Am I missing? Again, thank you, Michael, for that. Chat sped up on me. Gold update there. Drops below 4,000. This is a buy window, buy opportunity. You hear me say it all the time. Buy the tip, sell the tip. In gold and silver, man, the game has always just been accumulate. Buy these dips. If you've been looking for an entry, we may be in one right now. Usually, if gold's pulling back, silver will too, and copper, platinum, all the other metals, they follow gold. And thank you, comrade, and much love to that. Live because Jesus wants. Yes, Yeshua the Most High. Thank you for fighting a good fight. Keep pushing here. The most dangerous era in history is right now. It is, and what they're talking about here, they're not talking about wars. They're not talking about anything. They're talking about the U.S. stock market, and that historically, when looking at all this, we are at like a double top that's about to come down hard. There's no other way around it, man. Right around 2001, everything was tanking, going downhill. Of course, you had Blind 11 took place then too. Right before all that, like crossing right in 1999, crossing in 2000, just crossed over in 2000, and we were at a peak. Everything was riding good until it wasn't, and everything came crashing down. And then it tried to recover, and then all of a sudden, financial crisis 2008, this drove the thing down hard. This level, this is the scary part. When you do trend lines, you see how these lines are pulled out going here? These are not exact how I would do a trend line, but I would start at like right here off our low point, and I would pull out, and I would connect right off the bottom of this and then I would go out. That's our floor. That's our floor line, which is super low from where the heck we're at right now. It doesn't sit much higher from this low here. Matter of fact, it doesn't even break this line, this dotted line right here. Okay, that's the floor. That's the real floor. Okay, that's a real floor. Okay, wow. If we fall out from where we're at now, everyone will get smashed and hammered. It will reset everything, and everyone will lose their 401ks, everything we ever warned you about. The Buffett indicator is flashing red. Flashing red. We've crossed the +2 STD dev line. Last time they warned about this, it pulled back, but we've again, this is what I call a double top. And if it was to catch again and spike, you got to look for a head and shoulder setup on this. But we all know we're in a big bubble. All the signs are there for this thing to come down. And the thing with gold, other countries buying gold, they're doing that to offset the dollar. I don't see them stopping. All right, let's get into the problems with this government shutdown. You're talking chaos. We're talking continued chaos. In more chaos. In more ways than one. Way more ways than one. Okay, and thank you, Jonathan, for the coffees there. As long as I'm breathing, I'll keep spitting the truth, buddy. Let's start here. Sean Duffy, if you don't know who that is the Transportation Secretary. He is warning of a nationwide series of flight delays. It's already started. It's already started. I covered this last time. I've been tweeting stuff out on this. There's places from California, Texas, now other states that don't have people showing up to work. You got problems when you got aircraft taking off and landing and people don't show up for their shift in the tower. We've been here before and it's gotten hectic. This time it could get worse than ever. Where no one's showing up for the shift. And when this happens, there's delays. And if no one shows up to man the tower, no one's going anywhere. And it gets to the point, as we talked about last time, to where some even pilots will get pissed off and say, look, one of us will go in there and learn how to work the damn control tower if that's what has to happen so we can keep these flights going. You're telling me you guys can't find one man or woman to put in this tower, like to keep this stuff going? Like, it's ridiculous. But this is what happens. And people get pissed. You know, no one's wanting to work for free. All these people are wanting a paycheck. The government is like screwing everybody at this point. This is not going to be good for Thanksgiving, and you know it. And you know it. As we get closer, so we're a month out. I'm going to say if this thing isn't checked within the next 2 weeks, like 2 to 3 weeks, why would they stop it ahead of Thanksgiving? I feel like they want chaos at this point. They really do. They want chaos. They're pushing it so hard. Even the entire shutdown, all they're doing is sowing divide. They're doing nothing but blaming the Dems. This is the Dems shutdown. The Dems shutdown. It's all their fault. It's their goons in all these cities. That's the reason, ICE is in there. And, all this stuff. They're the enemy. And that's how this whole thing is being rolled out. And I'm telling you, it's civil war. It's obvious right in front of us. What else could it be? I don't think they're going to let this one die. They're not. It's on steroids. You got Trump sending troops all over the place. But, flight delays. Man, it's not going to be good. I'll check back in on that. You might want to think about this stuff if you're planning on traveling, man. The food stamps. They're about to be paused for 42 million people. Okay? This is about to get pretty chaotic, I'd say. Just because it already is. Just because there's clips out there already. Like, all over the place. TikTok's full of them. Social media is full of it. People just threatening what they're going to do. It's pretty brazen. We'll see what happens. I'm telling you, certain companies are going to take measures here with security that you haven't seen before. You just wait till this week comes and is in the history books, and we're like to next weekend. When this week goes down and these people do not get their SNAP and their EBT, I can guarantee you all next week I will be reporting in the headlines these events where people are trying to walk out of these stores. You see, last time they were doing it and getting away with it. Now they're getting checked. Seen a video today. Lady had a whole cart full. She had the dude behind her. And they're trying to take off out of there. And dude stops. I'm like, no, give me this card. Show me a receipt. And she's like, no, I paid for it. I ain't got a receipt. He's like, no, show me the receipt. And a black guy behind him steps back. He's like, I got eyes on him. Call the police. It's like, hold on, call the police. Like, dude, this isn't today's fault, brother. Like, This isn't, the tables have turned now. Like, you, these guys you're dealing with are police. This is a rude awakening when the police are already sitting there, almost in plain clothes. It's like sitting there in an off room with like the managers, and like they're just waiting for this to happen. So now these people are getting arrested on spot. It's already happening, and getting hauled off to jail. And they're like, why? Well, why? Because you stole a whole cart of food. And like, these companies ain't going to put up with it. People are not going to put up with it. Like, you're going to start seeing beatdowns and like people getting clotheslined. And kind of what we were seeing in the past, little old ladies were getting sick of it. They start smacking dudes that were trying to run out the door because they all know, you destroy the store, it's not going to exist no more. That's the problem with this. Some of these people are so small-minded, so animalistic about it. They don't see that they go in and destroy their local grocery store, then no one eats. And then what? You go to the next town the next week, you do the same, and the next thing you know, a month or two goes by, and then you've ransacked everything. Turned it into what? Destroyed everything. Your own town. Because you couldn't be civilized. It's funny. You got enough energy to get up and cause all this chaos, but you didn't have enough energy to get up and work. Mooching off government. Seeing it all too much. Seen a clip tonight. Guy played it. Oh man, I don't know if I shared it. And thank you, Deanne. It's all right. Much love. God bless. Seeing a clip tonight where brother was like, look, they ain't gonna tell you, but I'm gonna tell you why so many people are pissed off, because they get $3,000 or $4,000 worth of food stamps and they turn them around, take them down in the shop, and they sell them for $1,000 flat out cash. So they get that cash, they get that money, and they're selling them. And it's happening in mass. That's not everybody, but he was saying from his perspective, he was coming from out of the hood. He was like, I know all these people, and they ain't gonna tell you it. They ain't never gonna admit it, but this is what all of them are doing. They're taking them and they're selling them. But I know from my experience, people from all different sectors out there, people are affected by this by and large, different than they were 5 or 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. Okay. Why? We're hurting bad. Like, I know there's people out there that are working 40-hour shifts a week and still are like dependent on a little bit of money, a little bit of help in food stamps from the government. You know, not thousands and thousands of dollars, for crying out loud, but maybe a few $100 or something. Maybe upwards to 5 or more. Who knows? But these are people that are working full time and like are not addicted to drugs and are just hardworking everyday people, man. There's no other way around it. And they need this. That's what the system was made for people that need help. But I hate to say it, like, you shouldn't need help if you're working full time in this country. It just shows you how bad a shape we're in. But I see it. I know it. I see it all over the place. You can't deny it. Okay, so you have everybody's in a different position out here. This is gonna affect. It's all about how you handle it, right? It's all about how you handle it. It is a setup. Well, then start protesting this beast government. Instead of shutting down your own neighborhoods and grocery stores and everything else because you're robbing them blind. Start protesting this beast government. You know, you start moving righteous. And who knows? You start moving righteous, maybe farmers and other people out there that see you moving righteous, they show up with baskets of food to give you. You see how that works when you move righteous? Why don't you try that one time? You wouldn't know that though, would you? So, not y'all, but you know, the animals out there, like, because that's what I see it as. People, I've seen it's just too much, man. And it's of all backgrounds, all colors. People that abuse this system. There's what I call lazy trash out there all over the place. Just sit there and abuse the system. Grown ass adults don't do nothing. Sit around all day, do nothing. Like, like no contribution to society, to do nothing, mooch off the system, and oh, it's disgusting. Pisses me off. Um, when you've got people that didn't need it and deserve it, trust me, there's people out here that need help, that been working somewhere forever and just lost their job, or just got laid off. Look at all the stories I tell you all the time, every week of these places laying people off. People need help, man. It just doesn't help when people abuse the system. I feel for people out there. Like I said, I got buddies out there that were out there here this year hunting. Hunting. Do you have to do that? Hunting to put meat in the freezer so they can survive throughout this winter. Do you have to worry about that? Or do you got a cush? Huh? Are you privileged, huh? Huh? Who's got it? Who's got it made around here? You ain't got to worry about that. I got cats here got to worry about going out and killing and skinning and stocking freezers to survive. Do any of you have to do that? Because you got it easy compared to that, if not. Any of you out there having to chop all your own firewood, stay warm? Do any of that? When it gets off grid, it gets real, man. It's real out here. But I will say this: God provides. God does provide out there. If you seek, you will find. He did say in these crazy days to prepare, to go and prepare yourself a place in the wilderness, in the mountains. It is written. Okay, so when the chaos ensues, I don't want to be nowhere around the heart of it. Okay, the people that will kill each other over the last can of Campbell's tomato or Campbell's soup, or whatever. Look at this: food lines growing longer all over America, all over. Seen clips this week of military guys more and more in line at the food banks, and they feel ashamed. They can't, like anybody else. They're in a hard position. I mean, what does anybody do when you're not getting a paycheck, not getting paid? We had the billionaire that stepped up and donated $130 million to make sure our troops are getting paid, which was huge, huge blessing. And thank God, hallelujah. I can't remember a time where someone stepped up and did something that big in recent memory. Like none of the billionaires, like none of them. And that guy wanted to remain anonymous for the most part, and hit probably because the club would attack him. But he did it. Somebody cared enough. That's what I'm talking about, man. Like something higher's watching. If you're sitting down there with billions and millions and you're sitting there on it and you're not fighting the good fight with it, shame on you. You're gonna get called out. Like, you get called out now in the flesh, you're gonna get called out in the end. Telling you, high powers are gonna go on judgment day, go back. Look, you were sitting on 100 million, and you just sat there. You didn't help the good guys at all, even though I kept tugging you and like sending signals for you to do it. Like, I had 100 million. There wouldn't be much left of anything. Like for me to leave behind, because I'll be swooping vets up off the streets, putting them in I'll be doing some things that'll probably get you killed, but oh well. I'll be doing the righteous things that would get you killed by these beasts. Oh well. That's the crazy thing. You had some cats that came here and did not care about the death part. But just didn't have the means. So we'll keep on spreading the message here. Let's look at the states that are going to get affected the most here. There's 7 states that take in nearly half of all the SNAP funds, which is huge. Total spending for SNAP reached almost 100 billion, basically 100 billion in 2024. 1 year. That's a lot of money. A lot of money, man. New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Illinois, Texas, California, and Florida are the top 7. You can see the darker ones there. Yeah, half. So I mean, and then what's crazy in my mind, I'm thinking of the homeless map that I showed here on the last stream. A lot of the homeless situated in these same area when it comes to Florida, Texas, California as well. And then crime, that was up, high, shockingly high in Texas. Anyhow, nowhere is perfect. It just shows you a ton of people relying on this. But this map shows you where non-citizens receive the most food stamps. So let's just look again. Oh. What did I just say? Look at these standout states. This is where illegal migrants, people that are here illegally, are the most. California, Florida, New York, Texas. I mean, Illinois, again, these are like their stronghold spots. I'm telling you, this Mom Donnie gets in up here in New York, this communist socialist, whatever crap and everything they're pushing. This is a setup. This is a setup. Look, you're going to have New York, and let's go over here to Michigan, right here in Michigan, upper Michigan, where they've allowed all of with Dearborn and all of that whole area to be taken over. This whole upper area, border area, this whole region can people, you better watch out, man. Christians sitting back doing nothing. You better get active. You've got Muslim groups in this country prepping for war. They're training like in the mountains of Virginia and everything else. And your feds know they're there and are protecting them. Like we all know they're there. Just like we know they're up in Michigan and these other places. And dude, they're setting this place up for a major confrontation, just like they have everywhere else. I'm going to get to some UK updates here in a little bit that point in the same direction. John, thank you for the coffees. I appreciate it, man. To the fullest. And Wake Up America, again, thank you for the super chat. Gonna keep it pushing, man. Time's just slipping away. Like I'm just trying to cover it as quick as possible. And it's like, all right, so we have states suing Trump, like 25 states at least, suing Trump over SNAP here in the whole thing. And it's a setup to me because the government's saying we can't use emergency funds to fund it. The states can fund it, but they have no way to legally pay us back, so they got to eat the cost. That's a setup. That's a setup on all the states who out of nowhere got to fund this. You know, they don't have the money machine. They can't just turn on the printer in the states. The feds are the one doing that. It's not even the Fed doing that. It's a privately owned enterprise ran by the Rothschilds that own the Federal Reserve. And it's not even a federal company. It's all an illusion. This is such a sham, dude. You live in such a sham. This whole thing is a lie and a setup. This guy admits this whole thing with food stamps is leverage for the Democrats.
Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the White House. Frankly, this is our only moment of leverage. And although a very unpleasant tool to use,
it is a tool that's being used. He admitted it. That's why I play these clips, man, so you can see. Yeah, feds buy influence with funding for sure. when they can just kick on the printer. They get anything they want. There's no one to stop the bad guys. The baddies are all over the place. Here, Barack Obama crawls out from underneath a rock spewing censorship ideas in his normal way. And he's saying there's going to have to be constraints and all these things put on social media. So this guy's out here calling for censorship. It's just nuts, man, because they can't stand us being able to talk truth.
Part of what we're going to have to do is to start experimenting with new forms of journalism and how do we use social media in ways that reaffirm facts, separate facts from opinion. We want diversity of opinion. We don't want diversity of facts. That, I think, is one of the big tasks of social media. By the way, it will require some government, I believe, some government regulatory constraints around some of these business models in a way that's consistent with the First Amendment, but that also says, look, there is a difference between these platforms letting all voices be heard versus a business model that elevates the most hateful voices or the most polarizing voices or the most dangerous voices, in the sense of inciting violence voices. And
he's wanting to go back to the violence thing, but he just said polarizing. It's anyone that's speaking truth. He would just put it clear right there. He's talking about like us right here, right now. Anyone else out there wanting to use discernment on all the stuff. He doesn't want us going through any of it or doing anything that we're doing. He just wants us to consume their fact. There can't be any other form of the fact. It has to be their fact. You know, it takes me back to the whole Wikipedia thing and then editing stuff and all that. And we'll see what this Grokpedia really does from here. But Trump, man, Obama. Never thought I'd be having to say that name again like that. Like, I don't know, man. I can't stand the Obamas. Period. Look at the dude behind him, making flashing the sign, making sure he's flashing it. Like, look, I'm in the club. Look at me. Look at me. So Obama scolded voters for not supporting black women in 2024. He's now telling voters to ignore the black woman candidate this time and to support the white one. Why? Because it's agenda, and none of that ever matters. They'll play the race card if they need to, if it's to their advantage, of course. But then when it doesn't, it doesn't. See, it's all ain't about any race anymore. It ain't about supporting the black woman in this instance. No, it's all a scam. It's all about who's in the club, man. Amazon. I told you last time they announced 30,000 workers were going to get laid off. Now, 14,000, they're saying, will be reduced permanently because they're restructuring their workforce. They are transforming everything over to AI. Everything. This is Amazon saying this big time. All the warehouses are going to see this. This is going to wipe out so many jobs more. So they're reducing, like they're firing this many people. This is a reduction of 14,000 corporate workforce roles that AI is going to take over, man. This is bad news, man. Every week it just gets worse with this stuff, the AI. And looky here. A new warning for anyone out there that has kids that are on devices communicating with these chats like daily or like all the time. It's one thing if they check in, use something here and there, but and I'm gonna go beyond and say, not for just kids, for anyone susceptible to this. There are chat versions out there that are trying to act like the digital Jesus. Seriously, they have them where people sit there and think they're actually communicating with like an angel or something righteous and good, and it's not. And what they're stressing here is kids are getting seduced by these chatbots. This is crazy, man. So you gotta really stay on top of what they're doing. It goes right back to the whole Roblox thing. You ain't paying attention. They're in there playing in a virtual world. It's got pedos sitting in there. It's like, what the? And you gotta care because no one else is gonna care. You don't know. You already know that. We have another trans teen confessing to planning a Valentine's Day massacre to honor the Parkland shooter. So this goes right along with the agenda. And I will say this is one of them stories that's propped up that makes them look like the heroes again, the FBI, Cash Patel, and all them. And I should probably, if I remember, do a rundown down my X feed before the stream's over because I got some stuff over there we need to check in on. I always have some unique things over on the X feed that are worth checking out. We got a loving father here that beats the tar out of a thug pretending to be a cop after catching him trying to break into his house and mess with his children. So, this Parker Jackson attempted to break into a Toledo resident, Stephen Ardana's house, or Aranda's house. On Saturday, he claimed that he was a police officer and needed to check his children. And dude whooped him. You can see he's busted up there, man. We'll let this guy speak on this.
Allie came to the front door and he was trying to open entrance, and my little daughter said, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "You don't belong here." And then he said he was a little cop, and I snatched his up and I throw him down the ground, slam him on the concrete, and beat him up. Pinned him down until the cops got here. The kids was kind of scared a little bit because, they ain't been playing outside now the past few days because you can't trust nobody no more. So.
Wow. You know what I'm saying? Creeping up, acting like a cop. Like, they're doing it more and more. And remember, I put out a report where somebody bought huge amounts of fake police and medical gear as well. But yeah. There's creeps and pedos all over the place. Even, especially in high places, unfortunately. Like royal family high places. Well, we've got a prediction being made by a biographer here saying that he thinks that Prince Andrew is about to get thrown under the bus by the royal family because he's such an idiot. Because we all know this, he's obviously guilty. The whole Virginia Guthrie thing. Like, remember, Trump says it's a hoax. Trash Patel says that no one was ever trafficked. Yeah, we all know that Virginia was trafficked through him and in all this. We all know this for a fact. And his own royal family knows it. That they've scalded him. They've took away all this stuff. Look, there's no way in the world a royal member of anything is going to get treated the way that he's being treated if any of this wasn't true. And they themselves weren't convinced and sick of hearing about it. And they are. Will he go to prison? Well, it's interesting. What? You gonna convict him and give him 4 years like you just did Puffy, and he'd be out in 2 or less? Like, just they may. They very well may. You never know what they're gonna do here. So you said Prince William. Well, that brings me to Prince William. Hardliner Prince William reportedly threatened the royal future of Princesses Beatrice and Eugene to get their father, Andrew, to leave the 30-room royal lodge. So he's throwing threats out there. He's threatening other family members now. Like, look, you get your pedo dad, they got in trouble and got caught, up out of all this and out of here, or you can lose your titles too. You can be disbanded too. And you better check. I feel like he's saying, like, you better check game, Beatrice's, because because he is about to be the new king in town. Oh, yes, he is. His daddy's got cancer and clock's ticking. We all know. They've been waiting for the day. King William. Oh, yeah. Talk about one to watch. On this world stage. He's flexing here. He literally is flexing on his own bloodline. Like, it's nuts. All right, let's shift gears here to another crazy one. 3 U.S. Air Force personnel found dead at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio. This is another wild one. Cincinnati Enquirer reporting that an investigation is underway after 3 personnel found dead Saturday morning, identified as Jacob Pritchard, who served in the Air Force Research Laboratory, Jamie Pritchard, who served in the Air Force Life Cycle Management Center. So I'm guessing those are related. And then First Lieutenant Jamie Gustus, who was named as a member of the 711th Human Performance Wing. They say that 3 members have been found in a suspected murder-suicide, that Jake Pritchard, believed to have killed his wife, Jamie Pritchard, and this other person before taking his own life. Oh, man. Neighbors heard the bang. This looks like a cheating situation where the dudes caught him and he killed them both and then killed himself. Oh, man. Anyhow, that's, I don't know. Those are the people involved. R.I.P. Crazy that took place at this base. Of course, that base, Wright-Patterson, connected back to all the UFO stuff. We've got a congressman here, or a rep, saying that he believes that Trump is setting the stage for a future leftist president to kill GOP voters. Now, I warn you about this stuff all the time. Anything being put on the books right now can be used against us, or against the other side, basically.
No, it's not. And Senator Graham could not be more wrong, and it's beneath him to say what he just said. He knows, as well as I do, that there is no legal authorization for these strikes. There isn't. There is a purported memo inside the White House articulating the legal basis for these strikes, which has not been shared with the Congress. Now, I wonder why it hasn't been shared with the Congress, because I bet if it exists, that it's nonsense. And look, if Lindsey Graham and other Republicans want to go the route of saying it's okay to kill people illegally, just so long as the American public supports it, The American public needs to really think that through. You know, there will be a Democratic president someday, and all my MAGA friends who are, you know, cheering on these illegal killings need to imagine who gets killed when President Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says that it doesn't matter what the law says. She's going to do what she's going to do. So look, I work here, so I understand the complete abnegation of principle and a complete thumbing of the nose at the rule of law, but I would hope that people like Lindsey Graham might not go that path, because it's a very, very dangerous path for this country to go down.
Man, there's a solid point. I warn you about this. All right? I want you to hear from someone else besides me. I mean, it doesn't matter. The truth is the truth. You know, what happens when tables are turned and they come after the right, so to speak. Thank you, someone, for the coffee. Appreciate it to the fullest. Trump says he's not going to seek a third term. We hear all this talk, and he jokes, and I don't know, you know, some could be telegraphing. Anything could happen. And I'm not, to me, what does it matter at this point? He's in there. What else? I mean, what does it matter? I mean, lockdowns last time began on his watch. He's Mr. Warp Speed. This whole reset's going to happen on his watch anyway. Like, at this point, if he's in there for 4 more years extra at the end, like, I mean, him or JD Vance, I mean, like, what is the difference going to be when it's all a puppet show? When it's all controlled by Israel? Huh? Mossad. Well, Trump is now threatening to send more than just National Guard into these cities, which, whoa, what does that mean? Because then you're talking full-blown military. And that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. I'm warning everybody. We warned about this forever. Police state being rolled out. It's happening right in front of your eyes. When he rolls Marines out on these streets against Americans, dude, there's really no need for it. You're telling me that ICE in themselves can't handle, with all their APCs and all their everything, they can't handle these guys? Like, get out of here. That's garbage. And that them backed up by National Guard can't handle them? That you have to send in Marines? Like, I don't know, man. He's telegraphing some things here, though.
Cities that are troubled. And we're sending in our National Guard. And if we need more than the National Guard, we'll send more than the National Guard, because we're going to have safe cities. We're not going to have people killed in our cities. And whether people like that or not, that's what we're doing. And you've been watching what...
Okay. Whether people like that or not, that's what we're doing. Okay. We'll stop right there. No, I don't like it, because that's why we have police. And the way to correct this is to make sure your local police, your dads, your moms, your sons, your daughters, your local police can handle this. Okay? That's what really needs to happen. It needs fixed there. Local police departments across the country. The answer is not the freaking feds marching in every freaking city. That is not the answer. Now, on the surface, if you're in a crime-ridden area and you haven't been able to come out of your house, like, because the block's been bad, I get it. You're probably like, oh yeah, crime's down, I can actually come out. We want this, Dabu. Like, you know what? I get that. I get that aspect. But not everybody, not all these towns and cities, not all these neighborhoods have that going on. You know, I really started to question things when he was like, yeah, we're sending them to Memphis. And then they're going to slide right on over into Mississippi if we need them. You know what? We're going to send them down Nashville too. And I'm just like, what? Like, now you're just going all over the place. Like, you were acting like you were going off crime statistics, but now you're just like, wherever you want to point. And now it's not just ICE, it's National Guard, not just National Guard. Now it's about to be who? Straight assassins, like the Marines and everything else on American people. Like, I'm saying, man, would not be wise to sit back and be cheering on anything against the people. Feed into the left-right paradigm. All right, check this out. House Oversight Committee deems that all Biden auto pen actions are null and void. Yep. So they're demanding an investigation by Bondi, which is a fraud too, but this is interesting because all auto pen actions null and void by Biden. This means every person pardoned by Biden is no longer pardoned. This is a huge move. All these people who thought they were pardoned and scot-free, null and void. Null and void. Oh boy. Mixing things up for sure. Yeah, they want this. Something's about to go down. I told you, bro. By March is the resets when them dude's going to be in there. January, all the signs, yeah, they're wanting to be ready by. Interesting days we live in. Bondi has been defending this 1934 gun law that goes against suppressors. And of course she is. Yeah, hi, Fauci. Right. And everybody else that's hiding behind a pardon. And look at this. A Biden judge throwing it back at Bondi. He releases the man that put a $45,000 hit on Bondi. I can't believe this. They released him. This is nuts. This is signaling, man. Big time. Okay. James Comer now demands that Bondi, tearing the whole thing here. He's with the whole auto pen thing here. I'm gonna play a clip.
Yes, and I think that the DOJ needs to take this and run. John, we've handed this to Pam Bondi on a silver platter.
Yep,
We've done all the heavy lifting. We've done the depositions. We've combed through the emails. I mean, this is the hard, tedious work of an investigation. Now it's up to her to bring these people in. If there's anything in the report that's inaccurate, if there's anything in the deposition that we reported that are mischaracterized, now here's your opportunity to try to defend the other position. If not, then the report is 100% accurate and the pardons need to be declared null and void immediately. I would go further, but now this is me, and I would hold some of these people accountable for misrepresenting the president's health and for abusing their power as a bureaucrat in the White House that was essentially forging the president's name on pardons. I mean, you could ask a lot of questions. I know some of the people that were pardoned from Kentucky, these are wealthy Democrat donors. We heard from Jeff Zients that Hunter Biden was in the room where the decision making was taking place on the pardon. Look, I don't think we need to say any more on this show about Hunter Biden being in the room with pardons when people have the potential to maybe be paying for pardons. We didn't go that route. We just tried to investigate the auto pen and the president's health and mental fitness. But I think the Department of Justice could go a lot further. I mean, to have Hunter Biden in the room talking about any pardons, I mean, that's pretty bad in itself. But a guy that we proved, John, and you all have reported on many times, was taking money from our adversaries around the world, peddling access for his father's position as vice president of the United States. Having him in the room when you're issuing thousands of pardons with the auto pen, I mean, that's suspicious in itself.
Yeah. You think? You think he's got? Well, come on. The whole Hunter Biden thing, like, Yeah, so this is interesting. Yeah, him and Fauci, Hunter, Fauci, these guys are at the top of my list when I hear about this whole thing. Of course, get them up there. Like, look, I immediately, when I say these things, get this premonition. It keeps getting put on me. When I told you Bolton, when I told you Comey, I got the same premonition. I get it right now. I get it again. It's something keeps coming on me that something is about to happen. Same premonition, the same feeling and vision, millisecond flashes on me. The feeling comes upon me every time. When I hear that these guys, Comey, Bolton, that the Clintons got to push back their deposition until, oh, who knows when? They never even told us a date. Like, the same instant thing happens every time. Before I can even get through the story, get it all the way out of my mouth, I get the feeling. It hits me. It's the same thing I get with this. Like, oh, you're really going to get Hunter Biden up there and act like you're going to, like, when you get all these cats that close, like, you can guarantee you the buildings are coming down. Like, something's about to happen. Is how I feel, which isn't good because it's not going to be a couple buildings this time. It's going to be something super massive. It's going to dwarf that. It's been over 2 decades since they pulled off 9/11. And they just keep on pushing. It was an occult black magic ritual. We know this. And they're about to pull off another massive one. Remember, on 11/11, we enter a window that is unlike anyone we've seen in a long time and to be seen for any time to come. Where all these planets are in retrograde. And it's real deal. This one here, I'm just going to skim on some of these here. This one points out that Larry Klayman is warning that the Dems know that the only way to control things are to destabilize society. And we're seeing destabilization. Look at this next one. University of Colorado TP Turning Point USA student leader attacked after Antifa posted a hit list. So, hit list being put out now, and you wonder, they've already called Antifa this terror group, but now you put a hit list for real, and hits are being put out on people, period. Bounties being put out. Like, the game is changing. We were not talking like this a year ago and ever before. We're at a different point. Things are shifting right now. I'm telling you. It's a matter of time. Stuff's going to start popping off city to city. In my mind, I correlated all with strikes down in Venezuela, Colombia, and in Mexico. They like skipped over Mexico. They know that we've been watching and looking and eyeballing Mexico the whole time. But this went ahead and kept on sending ships out and ships out and ships out. And then finally started hitting these boats down off the coast of Venezuela. And like they show you that, like, you know, from Venezuela all the way to up here to Mexico, it's about to be on. We've got a probe being launched into the Gates Foundation alleged funding of military fronts ran by the Chinese. This is crazy. You thought Bill Gates was a bad guy. All this stuff, which he is. And the Chinese was, you know, a bad entity, the CCP, which they are. This is like treason. If you find this stuff out, we shouldn't just be talking about it in the headline. Like, he should be getting arrested. You know, all this stuff, but it's not going to happen. Why? Because Trump's not going to do it. Why? Because Trump had dinner with him and they talked about mRNA at Mar-a-Lago, and Trump has no interest in arresting Bill Gates. So people are living in a fantasy land. If they think that, which a lot of MAGA do. They believe these false realities and never want to admit these things and get all butthurt when we gotta call out the truth. This is something out of the UK right here. This is the one I wanted to mention for my UK cats. You have a boy that was given asylum in the UK. He's from Afghanistan. He stabs to death a man walking his dog, wounds another man and a 14-year-old boy, all for nothing. Just cannot assimilate, right? And goes on this graphic spree. Now, I saw a clip today, and it was being retweeted. I'm not sure when it was from, past couple days or weeks, but it's here recent. It's Elon making a statement, and he says, just flat out and clearly, he says, you've got people coming to kill you, and it doesn't matter if you want to fight or not. Like, you either get up and defend yourself or you get eliminated. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Elon Musk, the world's richest man, is like speaking to all the people there through the little puppet Tommy Robinson, which isn't to be trusted at all, controlled by the Mossad. He's telling them that you have to fight back, though, or you're going to be eliminated. That they've sent in these people as your adversary, and you either rise, even if you don't want to, even if it's an inconvenience. You either rise, or they're gonna override you. And see, it's your own people that allowed it, that went along with this scheme. You need to be going there first. Yeah. All of them need checked. So when Elon is called, I've never seen him call on an entire country, flat out, straight direct to the people, to rise right now and fight for your life, or you're going to lose it all. That's what he's done. That's where we're at with it. In UK, it's a smaller country, so anything that happens there is going to happen quicker. And you can see where everything's heading. You know, just look at Ireland, look at London. I mean, look at these places. Look at the stuff that's going down there. The smaller countries, they have an influx of migrants. They will not assimilate. And they were sent there to cause chaos. Just like that kid just did. Stabbing people in the streets, chopping people's heads off. It's chaos. What's crazy is he was sent there. These people are being sent by rich men. George Soros's. We know this. Dude, it's the highest treason that could ever happen. They should have been arrested last month, last year, last decade. Yet Soros lives in New York. I don't see him getting any visits. Trump saying, oh, we got Rico, I think, on him. Yeah. Oh, really? Just like Hillary for prison, huh? I'll believe it when I see it. Meanwhile, Germany they're hell-bent on going to war with Russia here in the end. So when you hear NATO and all this, Europe, war with Russia, Ukraine continuing, Germany is really the biggest one behind it. And then the UK. Romania is conducting a mass surveillance state on its own people. And like the world doesn't even understand what's happening here. If you were to go to Romania, apparently this is an area where they've clamped down harder than anywhere else. They have launched 8,600 secret warrants. No oversight. Like getting pulled into the Hague, tribunals, no lawyer, things like that. Like, better watch it. You go to Romania, man. I don't know why anybody would want to be there, living there. I was going to say, isn't that where the Tate brothers got into a bunch of crap too? But I don't trust them. They're obvious shills too. Let's go over to Sudan, where we've got cities being seized by militia. When you hear stories like this, and I see it popping up on the radar, this could just very well be one of the next war fronts. That's usually how it happens. So Sudan has always been on the short list of countries over there that they wanted knocked off, with Libya, Syria, Iran, all of them. So just making a mention of it in case we see anything grow from it. And the Gaza ceasefire, they say, has resumed after an Israeli soldier gets killed, and in response, 100 Palestinians get slaughtered. So that's the trade-off. One soldier for 100 civilians in this whole thing. And it's a joke. I swear, the only reason that the administration's even trying to stand behind or say that there's any kind of peace to anything here is because Trump's trying to build all these accolades for peace. It's all he's trying to do, with the last one and the biggest one being Russia. Okay? I don't know what's going to happen with this. The world is a stage. I figure if it doesn't go toward, it's going to go one of two ways here. It's going to head toward World War III. It's going to get it on with at some point here. Or Russia and the United States ally. And it brings huge economic deals just across the board. Just no other way around it. If we're allied, buddied with Russia, no one can mess with us. That's how we won World War II. We weren't the best of buds, but then out of nowhere, we connected and we won World War II. It was crazy. That's how it happened. And it's crazy because they went back to their corners, like an agreement that, like, we got to conduct this theater. Like, it won't work if we're buddies, so we got to act like we hate each other. And that's been the pact. And they've, like, been behind the curtain playing this game the whole time, acting like they're enemies out here on the world stage when really they're not. It's all play on the people, okay? ISIS, they used ISIS, same way in all these countries, on the people. All right? COVID, hello. They all played the game. China played the game. Russia, they all played the game hand in hand. They're all in on it together. It's a play on the people, is what this is. Okay, so all the rest is a puppet show. Yes, people are dying. The wars are very real. But it's never what it seems to be. And Russia has moved to a year-round military draft, anticipating an extended Ukraine fight. So, I don't know what's going to come of it there. Again, peace deal, no peace deal, I don't know. But another area, and I put a video out on this today, that has seen chaos is Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. Why? Why now? Well, let's think about this. U.S. military is only getting ready to bear down on the countries right north of you, and the whole reason is narco-terrorism. So all of a sudden, Rio de Janeiro's government rolls out a major narco-terrorism crackdown, and it turns the place into an absolute war zone. I have so many clips are nothing but gunshots. All the look here, gunshots. That's all they are. Flip everything. 172 people dead. The cartel known as the Mondo Vermelho, connected to Trinidad Iraqua. They're going to war with them. This is in the favelas, in the hood. What the fuck is this? It's going down. I mean, it's going down. Like, I mean, it's all it is. It's gunshots. It's the whole all the clips. Smoke rising, gunshots. They're rounding up people. It's huge. Yeah, gang crackdown, if you will. But it's like, okay, you should have done this before. You should have already had things in check. But what it shows me is they're trying to show Trump and everyone else, like, look, we got this here. They're trying to show the world that we're cracking down ourselves. There's no need for U.S. military to even come up in our country. Just keep an eye on that. See what they're doing here. Colombia didn't do none of this. Colombia's pumping out cocaine, and you see what they got coming. They're about to take over that whole area from Venezuela, Colombia, all the way to Panama Canal. U.S. military occupy it. You watch. They announced 14 killed in a new, largest single ever attack on a narco terrorist boat, is what they call it. They're getting closer and closer. Again, they're on the island of Trinidad and Tobago. Look, Venezuela takes action against Trinidad and Tobago over hosting U.S. warships. So immediately, Venezuela's like, screw you. Like we're done with you. We're not allied. You've got the enemy there. You're helping them. And they are. They're going to launch from there. No doubt. Because the U.S. crept up there and basically threatened them worse. Maduro should have seen it and should have known better. They should have already occupied or like seized or like boss hogged these islands or something. Because that's all the U.S. military did. Came in, scared the crap out of them. Said, look, we're taking over. We're going to kill you. Just that simple. That's what war is. And U.S. intelligence apparently offered the pilot of Maduro a reward to divert his plane to a private landing strip where the feds were waiting. Can you imagine that? The dude didn't take it. That's pretty loyal. He's probably scared to death. But that's what they're willing to do. If they can compromise a pilot. You want to know something? It just immediately makes me think of they can take control of these flights. They can. Like, it's not, if you're wanted by the beast and they really want you dead, you're not going along with their game here, they'll get you. Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein. I mean, just look. This guy's sitting on more oil reserves than any of them had. And you can't just go in and steal it. It belongs to the international community. Will say it belongs to the Venezuelan people, man. And it does. But the U.S. doesn't care, man. When have they ever cared? I don't know, man. This is one of the most slow motion type of wars I've ever seen unraveling. And it depends on how they're going to handle it. Or are they going to try just a couple sniping strikes? Is it all going to be like drone strikes and like like decapitation type of strikes? Or will we see big influxes of troops like rolling up onto the beaches? It's all yet to be seen. Just know the CIA is on the ground there, and they're ready. They got all the teams that they need there to do something big. All right, so that brings me, and Star Fury, it says, I'm originally from Trinidad, and I'm not surprised by any of this. The U.S. Navy has been visiting Trinidad since the 40s. Hey, thank you for checking in. I love to get boots on the ground type of info. Much love. It's 11/11. Fitting. Bring the show to a close. Wind it down here. I'll go over and check a few things, email, the chat here, take us out of here on some music. And as I always say, if the Lord doesn't return in the coming days, I'll see you here next time for some Underground World News Live. Going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's the schedule right now. And if you guys got any stories, any information, anything that you want me to cover or talk about, any images to share, anything like that, let me know. Dabu7@yahoo.com. Here. I know some cats are already peeling out. That's normally the routine here. But I am going over to my profile real quick. And thank you, Spiro. Thank you, Raymond, Kevpar, all my cats, all my mods. Thank you for all the help, everything you do. Sally, Miss Brady's Ghost, Martin, Geo, Gabe, Who Cares, EC, Dave, everybody out there, E-Fits. Peace to all. Hopkinson, Pixie, counting the days, love the name. Much love to all you guys, man. Everybody. Kuno. I see you guys. So let's go into my profile and let's touch on a couple things here. Again, a thank you to Tooge, man, my brother Tooge, Hoodie, Brian, everybody that's Tacos, Bullion, D White, all the cats that share the stream. I appreciate it to the fullest. I know this is only over on X. People share it other places. I appreciate that. Much love, Gabe. I just want to point out a few things, man. Yeah. If you love another country more than America, then you need to leave and you need to just go there. This freaking clown right here. Netanyahu. You know, over the years, I've seen a fresh cavalry of government Mossad paid shills roll up onto the scene. I sure have. It's disgusting every time you see a wave come through because when you're someone like me, it's a real truther that fights the real fight. And you're in a cage or in a dungeon all the time, censored heavily all the time. It's not a good thing. It's not a good feeling. And they want you to give up and all this other stuff. But, you know, we're not going to. They have to kill me. But you see these shills show up, dressed to impress, huge, massive suite studio, all the money in the world. Can just make bets with audience members or just say they can give them $30,000, $40,000, all this stuff. But are never ever out in the streets, have never proven themselves to ever be a real deal anything besides scammers and just about money, and also to just bow down to the Mossad. Anytime you see any of these shills out here cozying up with the Mossad, does anyone even have to even say another word? Are you kidding me? All right. So when you see goons showing up on the scene like I have over the years, there's all kinds of them out there. I mean, just that show up. And just gain millions of followers all of a sudden and get all the views and attention all of a sudden out of nowhere for no reason when you're sitting there swinging for the fences every day. Get out of here. Anyhow, Reagan, Washington National Airport has a ground delay. And this is going to be one of many from here on out. Remember what I said about travel coming up in the holidays? As long as the government is shut down, I don't know what if you're going to be wanting to travel out there, man, or fly, either way. PBD, yeah. Well, everybody's got their opinions there. Just saying what I see. Trash Patel reportedly stopped Tulsi Gabbard, her closest advisor, from investigating whether Charlie Kirk's assassination had ties to foreign intelligence. Now, why would you do that, Trash Patel? Why? See, if I ever get killed, it's because somebody goes and plays him, me making fun of him, and he gets pissed and he's not killing. You know. And they send a team to come get me one night. Oh well. Like, you don't scare me. None of you do. Never will. Look at this. That time Kate Middleton wore a dress absolutely identical to the one in the horror film Rosemary's Baby. And this is when she presented her second son, Prince Louis. In the movie, Rosemary is impregnated by a satanic cult leader, and she gives birth to the Antichrist. Huge. I mean, come on. It's the exact same. Like, come on. What's the chances you've got a piece of a shirt in there that somebody, like, in your closet, like, get out of here. They went out of their way to get this and to do this. Right? This is a cult. This is how they work. Okay? Trevor, man, thank you, brother. Rock on. For real. Much love. God bless. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it to the fullest. All the support. This is it. This is it. I mean, they matched it. This is what they do. This is how the occult operates. All right? And they're sinister. They're sick. All right? This is what they do. Right here. Matched it to a T. Just, oh my gosh. They're just, when I look at them, they're just empty. They're vessel. I can see the wickedness in, I can like, I don't know what it is. I can see the wickedness in different levels. And so check this out. I've got clips, and I've got multiple clips from multiple areas in the ocean of underwater lights. These are wild. Look at this. The boat's virtually rolling right over top of them. Whatever is under the water is like a light. And in every instance, they're like different. They could be yellow, green, blue. And these guys are flipping out. And this is happening all around from Puerto Rico all the way up to the waters of Florida. Okay, look at that. Look at that. This is happening. The guys are flipping out, man. Like,
Mira, empezó en el puente y está en la boya, era la boya. El puente está a la izquierda, a mano.
Are you kidding me? A massive glowing craft right there under your freaking boat. Like, get out of here. Like, no way. Well, I'm going to show you another one here in a minute. Look at this. This one's in the sky. They don't know what this was. This was over Ireland earlier for a while. Look at this. They didn't know what it was. It was a plane on fire, some kind of rocket. Never got no explanation. Like, what is it? We still don't know. No one knows. UAP, UFO, this mystery object. Who knows at this point? Oh, listen to this. This is a must. Talk about the baddies. We've got, this is huge. This is why sticking around toward the end of the stream, you get some of these better tidbits. This is Israel's ex-Mossad chief bragging how they have spread booby-trapped equipment, pagers, cell phones, computers, screens, speakers, any electronic you can think of. They have them in every country that you can imagine. He brags it. He talks a little quick and soft in a couple spots, and you have to pay attention. I'm going to start this from 1. It's a minute 23. I want you to listen. This is the former head of the Mossad. Think of all the bodies, the souls collected by the Mossad daily. The death that this man has overseen. The secrets and evil that this man knows. And you've never even heard of this man. That's how they operate. Okay? Well, just listen for yourself here. And then...
Did you see any surprises in Gaza?
Surprises?
Yeah.
Like you mean intelligence surprises?
Pages, walkie-talkies. Do you know how many treated equipment do we have in these countries?
All right, I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to restart it. He says, pagers, he speaks fast, and treated equipment. The guy interviewing him calls him out flat, hard on everything. I give him them props.
Did you see any surprises in Gaza?
Surprises?
Yeah.
Like you mean intelligence surprises?
Pages, walkie-talkies. Do you know how many treated equipment do we have in these countries? You don't. I do.
You mean booby-trapped equipment?
Not only booby-trapped.
And spying?
Manipulated equipment. All right?
In which countries are you talking about?
All the countries that you can imagine.
And not Gaza?
Not Gaza.
Nothing in Gaza at all.
Did you see that? If we had it, I mean, we knew something about them coming. Something, right? I would have sold them everything. Just everything. I mean, you can't imagine the quantity when I have invented that method. That was in 2002 to 2004.
Oh, he invented it.
Method.
The manipulated equipment method. Okay? We have already used it.
Dude.
Manipulated equipment. In Second Lebanon War.
Dude.
Some of the elements were speaking to us.
I thought I was muted.
How did you use it?
Want a glass of water?
We can get some brandy.
He can tell you, but he didn't.
I know it's an early morning in London. I mean, I don't think that is the case. But how did we do it? I tell you. Did you see any surprise?
I'm sorry. I get pissed off, dude. I get pissed off. This dude pisses me off. For all of any emotions that you harbor, you hold inside for the people murdered daily in all these places toward like Benjamin Netanyahu, you've got to realize that Benjamin is sinister and evil as he is just the face of a much larger group that is sinister and eviler than you can ever imagine. And this is the guy that sits at the top of it, or did. There's another guy officially now, but he's bragging. They have nothing better to do to go in these little things and brag and act like they have so much audacity. He just sat there and said that in every single country in the world, there are electronics absolutely everywhere booby-trapped. And you don't think that they're not here booby-trapped? You just wait. You remember tonight, you were listening to Dabu 7. And we talked about electronics blowing up. You're going to see it. And you'll remember this night. Oh, yeah, you will. Unfortunately. Brought to you by the Mossad. The most murderous group of people I've ever seen on this planet. And the man, brazen enough, he should be... There's so much evil here, he doesn't care. And they control it so much, you never say this. This is criminal. You should be pulled up for treason in The Hague, like facing a tribunal, straight up, for what he just said to admit to. Okay? There should be searches everywhere. Things should be being stopped right now. Shipments of TVs all across the country. Everything checked. All appliances. Everything. Everywhere. After what this piece of work just said. But none of that will happen. Instead, they're about to commit something huge. This dude he just effed up me. Dude, something's about to happen. Not only he just admit to killing and maiming all those people in Lebanon and not care because no one's going to hold him accountable. This dude is guilty right here for a future event when this happens. It's going to happen. He just admitted it. You don't have this stuff embedded everywhere not to not use it. Yeah, anyone want a new iPhone right now? Might get your head blown off. Like, oh my gosh, dude, this is insane. Look, I told you about the AI, all the weaponry, everything that they do, but like, hey, the exploding pager thing, I'm putting it in a song. Listen, I'm about to write a song. If I get the time, I'm supposed to be writing one for Crown Jewels too. I'm gonna do one called Bonnie and Clyde. I'm gonna put it in there. The exploding pager thing. Like, this is crazy, man. Oh yeah, you don't think those two look anything alike, do you? Huh? You know anything about MK Ultra? All that? Man, Chester, man, he's a dead ringer. Like, on his like, this is an undeniable one. Yeah, man, like, man, like, the game runs deep. Here is an orb and a UFO caught on regular TV. New York Post accidentally aired it. And FAA has a ground stop at Newark Airport because of the shutdown. So there was Washington, Newark. There's several different places. I love that ancient tech right there, that ancient knowledge and why they built this way, all these ancient places. It was earthquake proof. Like, they knew a huge cataclysm was going to come. And we still can't replicate this stuff today. If our government can, they don't tell us, right? Oh, and look right here. Civil war in Britain is inevitable. Just a question of when. Elon Musk is saying this and posting this. It's inevitable. The world's richest man is telling everybody over there, that it's going down. Already showed you that clip. Here's another underwater. This is Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Look at these water things. Same thing. They're flipping out. Go around it. Go around it. Yo, what the fuck? Go around it, man. Yo, that shit weird. Go over it. Go over it. Nah, don't go over it. Because if we hit that shit and we get stuck on top of that shit, and it keeps. Oh, that shit's brighter. It's getting brighter, yeah. They're pointing around like this. Yo, that shit's crazy. You're like a tornado or something. I don't see nothing. I just see like a flashlight. Oh, and it's moving up. There's somebody there, bro. It's like a light. I think it's a light. It's a flash. It's like a flashlight. It's that look. There's two. All he can say is, let's go to that one, Matthew. Let's check that one over there. No one can like wrap their head around what they're seeing in these. It's the same thing. It's a light about the same size. They're different colors, and this is in different bodies of water from Puerto Rico all the way up to Florida, just in what I've shown you here tonight. Oh, and there's that clip right there, Pakistan. You see that? Looks like the Sphinx. You see how this looks? Do you see how this looks? You see how that looks like? Man, this is what the West looks like. It looks like a freaking building. It just does. It just does. The architecture, all the square cuts and shape, all the everything, man. It's like, dude, look at that place. Like, that place is really good. But it looks like this in Moab. If you go down to Moab in Utah, I'm telling you, there's hidden treasure all over the place. Ancient stuff. Look at this place, man. Like, that's Pakistan. U.S. Announces they just put on display a brand new jet by Lockheed Martin. It is the X-59 supersonic, and it may be the new thing for passenger air travel. We'll see. Anything's better, I guess, than these Boeings that are falling out of the sky left and right. And I think that is just about it. Off the feet. So, much love, Kev Bar. How much are tickets to Pakistan? There's a lot of good stuff out there, man. Telling you, man. Dust off the Indiana Jones hat, man. Ready to throw it back on. Time's ticking, man. I feel like we ain't promising. No, none of us promised tomorrow. You know that. It's like I need to like zero in on some of these things and like go after it. And like, I don't want to be a soul sitting on the other side saying, "Oh, I wish I would have did this or that." You know, some of these things like have to be done. Something has to be done. You know, like I was saying earlier about the Grand Canyon, like someone has to go exploring. Someone has to go down there with cameras. Someone has to do it. Someone has to do this and that. Someone has to do things. They have to go above and beyond. We got some ideas on some things, man. Again, I ain't giving them away. You'll just see them when they get presented. I will say this. If I'm ever out there on some crazy, if you ever hear of anything's ever happened to me when I'm on one of these runs, it would be because I don't know. We like to go to places like Area 51 where they don't like you to go to and stuff like that. And I don't know, start doing things that they don't like. Exposing things that they don't like. Not doing anything illegal, but with the technology that's out there these days, there's ways around certain things. And some things just have not even been exposed yet. And that's what we need to do. Much love, everybody out there. I guess that ends this one. Brings it to an official close. Look to be back here on Friday night, God willing. Much love, God bless all you guys. And yeah, man. Gabu7@yahoo.com. Make sure to follow me on X for updates. Check in on the channel daily. I'm dropping videos every day. And again, live 3 times a week. And yeah, man. I appreciate it, you guys. Yeah, I try to get it all knocked out, wrapped up here in a 2 to 3 hour period, man, all the time. So much going on. So I'll be popping off something tomorrow. Y'all stay safe. Much love. God bless. Oh yeah, Eastern. Giants definitely walk this place. I could talk about giants and ancient stuff for hours. The Book of Enoch, Jubilees, all the ancient stuff, it's what intrigues me the most. Getting the truth of our history. Think you're huge. Hope all is well, brother. Eon. Absolutely legendary. Every stream. Every freaking stream. You never miss one. Legendary. Much love. God bless. Always.